Hi, this is Judy from Fox Cities Quilt Company, and this is Sunday from the Sewing Room. So today I'm going to talk to you about a little tip about nesting your seams so that you can make perfect seams and not have any of those weird gaps that we sometimes get, or the seams being a little bit off. We've all had them, and we all think that we nest these seams perfectly and that, why did it get off? But I have a little tip for you. So what I've done is I've made a whole bunch of, 2 patches, and I'm going to make this 4 patch. And as you can see, I have nested my seams, and I'm going to show you this tip to make these 4 points come together absolutely perfectly. And when you make your 4 patches, you take your 2 fabrics, and I always press to the dark. So, and I've done that on each of these. Let me show you here. So I've made a few, and I've pressed each one of them to the dark or the green. And I've chosen 2 really high contrasting fabrics so that you can see what I'm doing. And then you know that when you nest your seams, you are going to take your light and your dark and you put them together. And when you do this, they will nest right in each other, and they fit really nice, and you can feel that there's no lump or bump. So now here's what the trick is how that you place them onto your machine and sew them. So you know about your feed dogs. You have your feed dogs here, and your feed dogs do exactly what's in the name. They feed your fabric through your machine. And in order to feed it really nicely, the bottom is the one that is getting pushed through, and you kind of help push the top through. So in order to help nest those seams even nicer and even tighter, if at all possible, because sometimes it's just not possible, put the bottom one so that the seam and is facing towards the machine. Okay, so that means your dark would be towards the machine, and then have your light away from the machine or pointing towards you. And again, I've got those nested really, really nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in my machine, and my feed dogs will help push that bottom seam right into the top seam, where I can help feel it and push it in order to make that seam nest absolutely perfectly. And let me show you what that looks like, because it felt pretty good. And there you have it. So those seams have come together really, really nicely. So let me show that to you again. So again, if you can at all possible, the bottom seam, or that's how you press it, is going to go towards the machine. So that means the dark is going to be on the top, on the bottom. And then the next one will be just the opposite. So you want this seam to face towards you. And again, I'm just going to nest that right in there so that I can feel that nest. And if you're a pinner, go ahead and pin. But when I'm doing these larger patches, I like to be able to feel it push right into there. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and sew that, and I can feel it pushing right into that seam. And you can always tell also if you have a good nest, because when you go over bumps with your machine, you hear that little kunk-kunk. So with this one, we didn't hear that noise. And so that we can nest that seam really nicely. And let me open that up, because it's always fun to make sure that they nest so nicely. So here it is, folks, nesting seams and having your machine help you nest them. So that's our tip today from Fox Cities Quilt Company. Thank you so much for coming, and enjoy your Sunday. Bye-bye.